No.
Okay, so now if it is no, then basically we shall start with the other concept, that is say documents and say dashboards. So why we use it and then which scenario we use it. So all like basic theoretical. So here you get one more day additional to practice up all your schema part, because from tomorrow you have to work practicals on the dashboards. Now what is this dashboard or what is document means? So generally when you get into any of other tools as well. So generally what we say basically is we say something called visualizations as well. So that visualizations, what we say basically is we say that as a dashboards. And what is then document and then what is say a dashboard basically, right? So in MicroStrategy, we do have two different concepts. One is documents, the other one is a dashboard. So I'll just show you that editor and then we'll just try to understand. So when we use which one, so in which scenario we have to use document and which scenario we have to use dashboards and so on.
Srinivas,
Yeah,
so the terminology dashboard and documents are same or different?
yeah. That give me 2 minutes, you'll understand.
Okay.
So they two are different. So that's the reason I've written two different notes. So if you look at this one new, you just get into this one document. You just select this one. Now there is something called a blank document editor. There are two tabs here. One is a general. You come to blank document and then just click OK. And once you click OK, then it asks you to browse some input. Basically will be your report. So once you select it, so this is how your document editor will be there. And basically this is one editor and there is another editor. So which is your dashboard editor. Right click, same. You don't have separate thing called dashboard. You just click on document, but instead of getting into first tab, that is general and blank document, you need to get into the second tab, that is a dashboard. Under dashboard, you need to select any one of them. And these are the like PowerPoint, when you open you get different templates, right? So these are the templates similar to that. You just click OK. So once you click OK, then again it asks you same thing to browse up any report. So I just select that one. So here if you look at this one, so this is if you look at this one, it doesn't show as like different sections as compared to your document, and a slight difference on the look and feel between your document and dashboard. So there are two different concepts. One is document and the other one is a dashboard. So which scenario we go for using documents or which scenario we come and use this particular dashboard, so that we'll just try to understand on a high level, and then basically we'll see some basics more as well. So now at which scenario I have to decide that okay, I need to go for documents or I need to use this particular dashboards. So in case of documents, right? So just try to understand here. So this is very important. So you need to understand at least, okay, if a requirement comes to you, oh, I need to create a dashboard or I need to create a document. That is the first thing you need to understand. So whenever we say documents, right? So this particular documents are like your offline documents wherein it doesn't require any interactivity. So documents are static. In other words, documents are static, which doesn't require any interactivity. So what is that particular word static? And here I am saying that, so your documents are static, and for the dashboards, I'm using a word interactive. So what is static and what is say interactive means, say for example, you have a say your particular bank statement. So in which format you get your bank statement? Uh,
PDF text format.
In the PDF format you get it. Okay. So that PDF, right, is it editable or it is not editable?
Not editable.
It is not editable. Okay, fine. So on that specific lines, right? So it is not editable. That is fine. And say for example, you get a different days transaction. Say for example, day one this much, day two this much, and so on. So and in that specific thing, right? So whenever you click on any date as such, right? Will it, I mean, show the detail of that also, or like you cannot interact with that particular document, whatever PDF document it is?
Yeah, we can interact by selecting the date ranges.
No, no, no.
If you,
In your bank statement.
no, in the bank statement we can't.
Yeah, I'm asking about your bank statement itself. You log into online, that is a different story. So I'm just asking you is once you open that your PDF document, if you select, can you, I mean, it allows you to select any date as such there, or it is just a static wherein you, it helps you for
It's
viewing.
just static. It's just static. It displays all the things.
So it displays all the things, but it is non-editable. Agree?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So what I say basically is like that same document, whatever you are receiving, right? So or the pay slips which we get, right? So all that particular documents, sorry, all that particular things, right? They comes as part of a document. So whichever is a static, so like your bank statements, your pay stubs and so on. So all those things will be a part of the document. And say for example, when you just log into the web, the same thing. So the statement, whatever you got, so now you open that in an email. Instead of that, you can use a online banking and you open that particular account. I mean, you just log into that home page, be it, I mean, whatever bank you hold, right? You just get into that home bank, key in credentials. Then once you get in, right, there will be different options. Like you want to transfer some amount, you select on fund transfer. You want to see your mini statement. There is an option wherein you can click your mini statement. You want last 10 days transaction. You can provide the date range filter, select this one. So now that is on online. That is an online and wherein you are interacting it. So you're just connecting to web, and from the web, what you're doing, you're just interacting with different fields. You're interacting with different fields in order to see data basically. So that particular thing, right, is a dashboard. So wherever you require an interactivity, you go for dashboards, and wherever, I mean, you don't require any particular interactivity, which should be only static, then in that particular scenario, you go for documents. And the other thing, whenever it is a document, right? So the information in the document, so generally you prefer creating documents whenever your data spans across multiple pages. Your data spans across multiple pages. But whereas in the dashboard, so in the dashboard, you ensure that whatever data that you are representing, right? So that particular data, so whatever data you are representing, so that data is going to fit in only a single screen. So you just don't try to put data in multiple pages wherein it shows a scroll bar and you just scroll it. You see one page, you click on some option. At the back end, if it shows another page, that is fine. From one screen, you are navigating to another screen, it is fine. But you should not get an option wherein you need to scroll the pages. So here, lot of your data will be spanning across multiple pages. In case of document, so you will have data present in multiple pages, and whereas in case of a dashboard, the complete data you are going to represent in a single screen. You are going to represent the data in a single screen, and that, I mean, if you require multiple screens, say your requirement is such that you want to see a lot of data, but that thing, instead of seeing the data in one screen, you place one screen behind the other, one screen behind the other, n number of screens you can place one behind the other. But at a time, whatever data you see, that is going to present on a single screen. That is going to present on a single screen. So whenever you create a dashboard, you need to ensure that your data is going to fit in a single screen. And apart from that, so whenever, right, So it is spanning across multiple pages. So what you do is, I mean, no graph or no visualization will help in. So for which, right? So most of the things here will be in a form of grid format. So whatever data you are displaying, right? So that data is going to display in a grid format or in a tabular format, in the tabular format. But whereas when it comes to dashboards, so in case of a dashboards, so whatever data you just try to represent, right? So that data you try to represent it visually, and using, there will be a concept called as widgets. Widgets, as of now I can tell, basically these are like advanced graphs. These are the advanced graphs which you have, and apart from that, here you find most of the documents as a, I mean, so most of the things as a graphs as well as widgets. Widgets means, so it is an advanced display when compared to the graphs. So whatever graphs, you know, line, bar, pie, right? So apart from that, you want to display data in, I mean, in more visually, for which every tool has their own specific visualization, and that particular visualization in MicroStrategy we call as widget. We call as a widget. So this is where, I mean, uh, the key thing. So you use this particular dashboard in order to show data visually, and then whereas when it comes to this particular document, here it will be in a grid format or in a tabular format. And apart from that, so in case of a documents, right, so you don't use any concepts of any linking. Linking means from one document to call another document, so that is not possible actually. And apart from this, so documents, whenever I said multiple pages, right, so these are going to show, what means, these are going to show a detailed information. So whenever you want to represent the detailed information, you go for documents, as the detailed information is going to span across multiple pages. But whereas in case of a dashboards, so here, so it is going to allow, you can do linking from one particular dashboard, you can call another dashboard or another document. And apart from that, here you are not going to display day level or, I mean, item wise information. So instead of that, you are going to display summarized information. You are going to display summarized information. So the summarized information is displayed in case of a dashboards or visualization, whereas in a documents, you just try to display the detailed level of information. So these are like few considerations you need to know before you start with documents and dashboards. Before we start with documents and dashboard. So anyone, any questions you can ask me on this. So there are two editors as I've shown you, and each editor we use for a specific scenario. And these are like some of the high level points in which you need to consider to use documents or dashboards.
No questions.
I'm all good.
Okay, yeah, thanks for confirming. Okay, so now, right, so now this documents or dashboard, before coming to, before coming to documents and dashboard, right? So basically till date what we have done basically is we have all these days, right? What we have done basically, we have created different reports. So altogether we have created reports, right? So now till date we have created reports, but now what is the point again to moving on to documents and then dashboard? So anyone, any inputs? Now you know documents what it means, dashboard what it means, but already we know how to create reports, and we can use that particular report also for analysis. But what is the point of getting to documents or dashboard in a real-time world?
So if we create the reports, just we are displaying the data, and if you use for the documents and dashboards, just we are adding something. If we are using dashboards, we are visualizing the dashboards. So just reports are just to display the data, and to add the extra features, we are using documents and dashboards.
What does that extra features means?
In the reports, we are not using this going for the what we call linking the reports, like from the one report to the another report.
If you use drilling, right? Drilling is as similar as linking only. When we applied drilling, there was another
Yeah,
report that was opening, right? So there also we
yeah,
are interacting.
uh,
Guys, some inputs, like instead of reports, why we need to go on to documents and dashboards?
I think for this documents and dashboards, it's morely for the end users, but whereas the reports which we have created already, I think that is more for the business users within the company.
No. I mean, that is also not correct. So basically, whatever we develop, even for the internal business users or be it the external users, both of them look the data. I mean, say for both of them, right? They need to see the same data, like that will be visually, or like they want to see the data on the dashboards or documents rather on the reports, be it our internal users or be it the external users or clients. But why they are not seeing these particular reports? Why they want these particular documents and dashboards? So very simple, just try to give some more try.
Documents and dashboards, they are easy to analyze the data for the end users, so they use documents and dashboards.
So they are easy to analyze. Okay. Okay, fine. So correct. So they are easy to analyze. That is fine. Okay. Say for example now, your data is there actually. Okay, fine. Let me give you an example actually. What is that I'm doing is, I'm just trying to say for example, create up a say small report. So just go to blank report and then just try to go here, try to place up, okay, 1 second. Okay. So just try to create up a, say for example, a basic report. I'm just trying to create it. Just try to focus here now. New report. Within that report, say just click OK. And then just go to attributes. And then under that time, select your day. Then go to metrics. Sales metric, profit. Okay, day means you'll have lot of values. Fine. I just don't want you to analyze at a say day level. Let me place your month here. So just go to attributes and then place month and profit. Okay, so just look at this particular report. It has 3 years data, but in real time definitely you'll have more years of data, right? So this has like 36 rows, and tell me by looking at this particular report, which months are having more sales and which months has less sales, or which months has, highest sales and which months are having lowest sales. Can we tell that by looking at these values here?
No, we can't.
No.
We can't tell. If we spend at least for 1 hour, if I spend 1 hour on this particular report and try to analyze each and every value, can I say that, or I cannot say that still?
Like after 1 hour, you can let you can let.
You will tell me, or we'll come to know?
No, we will come to know.
You will come to know. Okay, I thought like 1 hour break you want to analyze this and tell me. Okay, fine. So
ఏం కాదు మంచిదే. Oh shit.
మ్యూట్ చేసుకుంటే ఇంకా బెటర్ అన్నట్టు. Right, so basically in this specific lines, right, so if you look at this one, you can analyze it, but the problem here is it takes a lot of time for you to analyze this specific information. So once you look at this particular month wise profit, right, so you can analyze, but it takes, say for example, an hour, or it may take 2 hours for to analyze the data, which any end user or client will not be happy. So instead of this information, you show up in a line graph, say for example January, February, March, April, so on. So it shows up some graph, and then it shows a trend like January, like how you see a cricket score, right? So if that particular data shows up in that lines, right, so using that one particular line you can have for January, 2010, other one for 2011, other one for 2012. In this way you can have 3 different lines which shows up, okay, how the trend is there in 10, 11 and 12, looking at which, right, the same data wherever you are taking 1 hour to analyze, right, within say a minute you can analyze that particular information. You can analyze that information. So what it helps, that documents and dashboards means it helps the data to analyze faster and quicker, and that is required in the modern world, because any particular client or any user you take, any business, the time is a critical thing. Time is a very critical thing, and that analysis has to happen faster to take decisions faster as to compete in market. Because if they don't take proper decision, there is another particular competitor who takes better decision, and they end up in getting more business, right? So on that lines, analyzing data faster is important, and once you analyze that data faster, taking decisions is important. Acting to the decision is important, as in market there are a lot of competitors. Again, to analyze that data, so when you have grid format, then probably it is going to take more time. But the same thing when you have data graphically, right, visually, then the analysis of data will be faster. Agree on that point? So analysis of data will be faster when we display data in visualization when compared to grid report. Agree everyone? Yes or no?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Okay, that is first point. Analyzing data will be faster. Right. Moving on to the next one, basically, say for example, whatever data the client require, assume that, say for example, you have multiple reports, and multiple reports here, right? I see a lot of reports having profit and lot of report having sales. If at all I want to understand my sales information, I need to run 3-4 reports here in order to understand my sales information. I have a report which shows me year-wise sales, another report which shows me region-wise sales, another report which shows me subcategory-wise sales. So in order to understand sales information across various areas, I need to run 3-4 reports. I need to open report 1, analyze it. Report 2, I need to analyze it. Report 4, I need to analyze it. So in this way, I need to open multiple reports. I need to open multiple reports and then try to analyze my information. But whereas that 3-4 reports you can just combine at a single place in case of a documents and dashboards. In case of a documents and dashboard, the other flexibility is you can combine 3-4 reports at a single screen or a single place and then display data. Then display the data based, you require documents, you require dashboard based on the amount of data you display, right? So you just go for dashboards and or else you go for the document. So other point is, so one is analysis of faster and the other thing is, so you want to analyze multiple reports at the same time. You want to analyze multiple reports at the same time. Then also you go for documents and then dashboards. You go for documents and dashboard. That is another thing. And then basically the other point is, so in case of a report wherein you cannot, whenever you run your report, right, so you can see data, that's fine, but basically at the top here I want to see some logo. Okay, so whenever I run say city, right, city report, at the top I need to show that particular Citibank client logo, or else I want to show some MicroStrategy logo, right? So that particular information I want to show some images or I want to show the client logos. So the client logos are not possible in case of your reports, whereas in case of a dashboards or documents you can display that client logos as well. So you want it in case of a documents, you want and each and every page you can do it. Here you want at the top at your screen at the top left hand side, right hand side, also you can just use that particular thing. In case of documents and dashboards, you can use your client logos. So that is another key thing why we use this particular documents and dashboards. And earlier basically, say for example, if you get back to say at least I say 5 years back, right? So most of the business used to analyze data on this particular reports itself, the tabular reports. But over last 5 years, I see there is a great change of your users. Instead of seeing the data at the reports, every one of the user are seeing the data in what means in the documents and dashboard, and that is why you go for any interview. So they may stress you like whether you have dashboard and then say document experience or not. So this is a key thing for you to attend any interview. So you should be familiar with how to design documents and how to design the dashboards. So now all your end users or clients will use documents and dashboards to perform analysis rather than using reports. So but again, why didn't we start our first class in creating
reports than coming directly to documents?
right? Why?
That is the foundation.
Okay, so here whatever these documents and dashboard, whatever data you are displaying, right? So here in order to create a document, in order to create a dashboard or document, you require the data, and that data exists where means they exist in the reports. So whatever you have created, you are displaying in tabular format in report. The same data you just bring onto documents and dashboard and display it more visually. That's it. So in order to start with, you need to be familiar or expertise on building up the reports.
Because we use multiple reports on the document.
Yeah, you can use one or you can use multiple on the document. So guys, any more questions till this particular point? So what is document or what is dashboard, or instead of reports, why we need to come to documents and dashboard, and then what is advantage of using documents and dashboard over your grids. So is that particular point clear?
For these documents and dashboards, report only the input, or we have any different inputs source?
Okay, so you can have the reports, you can have any external any external source, as in, for an example, an Excel you have, or else you have a CSV file, or else you can have any intelligent cube as a source. So all these particular things can be source for creating up a documents or dashboard. So you have the client gives an Excel, and that particular Excel you need to just convert that into advanced visualization, so you can use that as well.
Yeah, thank you.
So any question, guys? Anyone?
I'm good, Srinivas.
Okay.
I'm also good.
Okay. Yeah, fine. Good to hear. So now we understood the basic, okay, why we require this one. And then what is that we need to learn basically in the document. So again, I say, whenever I say dashboards, right, so you don't get expertise overnight or over a day or within a week. So it requires your continuous efforts in, working on this particular documents and dashboard to get to that expertise. Basically, at least I see 1 year, you try to work on different thing wherein you understand, okay, if a client tells, okay, this is the best one or that is, but generally, what we do is we just try to understand all the controls which are used as part of document designing and then the dashboard designing as well. But slowly, right? So as per interview, whatever require, you understand it. Once you get in company, how do you analyze the dashboard? What is the different things you need to do, that you understand it. But you don't become master or you don't become expert like within this particular, say 8 hours of course or 7 hours of course what we are planning. So that requires at least an year for you to get to that particular level. And if your project is good, some projects maintenance, you just go there, you work on few issues, you come back. I mean, those particular projects you are there, so then there is no scope of more learning. There will be some tough projects, you join that project, the pressure will be more, as well as like I mean the amount of knowledge you gain in that particular time also will be more. So it depends completely on your project, right? But again I say, even though you are part of whatever your project you have, take one dashboard, try to create it, try to add new functionality daily at least for few months from now. Daily spend 1 hour on dashboard if you want to get expertise on this particular analytics field. Okay, so now when we come to documents, right, so we need to understand in the document. So primarily, so when we say documents, right, so under this, what are the different things we need to learn? So whenever I say documents, so you need to understand what are the different, when I opened it, right, so on that particular editor, so it has different sections. So if you look at this specific thing like a Word document, once you open any Word document, you see different sections, right? Document also has the sections. If you look at this one, page header, document header, detail footer, document, these are all different sections. And towards here you see dataset pane and then property list. So what is this property list? What is this particular data set section and so on, right? So first thing you need to understand, so what are the different sections you have in, and apart from that, so we need to understand different controls as in, so whenever I say a terminology like controls here, so whatever you can place on your document, say for example on your document, to see the data, right, you need to place a report, so report is one particular control. Apart from report, so there will be various different things, so you need to place different controls, like you need to add some text, then you need to place a text box control, then you need to place something called dynamic text, for which you place something called auto text control. Say you need to add up something called image here, so you just add that particular image. So all that particular thing becomes a control. So to understand these controls, right, you'll understand all 7 days we just try to use one or the other control, widget, graph, anything becomes as a control. And apart from that particular thing, so you need to understand, say basically, so what are the modes? What are the modes means? So once you design a report, you run that in a different formats like grid, graph, grid and graph, SQL format. So once you create a document, what are the different modes you can run it? And then what does dataset means? So here just now you've seen, right? So what is that particular dataset means? Dataset means any report you take, right? So that reports, one report or multiple, the same reports in case of a documents, a dashboard, we refer them as a dataset. We refer them as a datasets. So, and apart from that, you need to understand, so what is this specific grouping means? So there is a control, like once you try to create up a document, so if you look at this specific thing, drop objects here to create groups. So you need to just understand that particular thing. So what does this particular grouping means? Right. And so these are like, I mean, a few different important things you need to understand as part of, say, documents. And then when it comes to, I mean, here, like you need to also apply, say how to apply uh, thresholds you need to know, and then how to do, say for example, hide to, here we hide lot of columns from user, how to hide columns in a grid placed on that one, and then basically say for example how to apply, or how to apply, say for example, graphs here. So we use graphs also in case of a documents. So right, so these specific things you just try to understand to work on all this specific thing. And whenever we say dashboards, right, so in case of a dashboard we just use lot of, I mean we use all the above controls, that is fine. But apart from this, uh, right, so we use multiple, say for example, screens, which is called as panel stack, and then you need to have something called panels, you use it, or then you make something called interactivity, for which you make use of selectors to make that interactivity. And as I said, here you use advanced graphs, which is called as widgets. You need to know how to use that particular widgets, and then you link here. So you are going to link from one particular report to other report. So you are going to, I mean, say for example, you are running the report at region level. You click on one region, so it should show the data at city level or employee level actually. So that, I mean, to display data at that information, you need to link as well as linking. And then the other key thing is you need to pass the controls. You need to pass the controls from one dashboard. You have to pass, say, other dashboard controls. And then here also you need to know what are the different controls you'll be using. And then under selector also there will be something called what are the different targets we can set in. And in this particular targets, right, you do have an important concept called as filter, and then say you do have something called slice. And then whenever you use more than one data set, then basically it becomes as a, like you create multiple data sets, then one data set become as a primary data set, and then some becomes, so you can just make a few as primary and few as secondary. So which data sets will be a primary and which data sets will be a secondary data sets, right? So this specific thing also you can just do it, primary data set and then secondary data sets. And so in case of, yeah, these are the key things. You need to know panel stack, panel, and then there is another concept called as layouts. So whenever I say dashboard, these are the basic controls you need to understand in. So only the thing we learn each and every control and you open any dashboard, these are the things that will be used. But only the thing what we do basically is we learn one by one. We'll learn one by one, means we learn first panel stack, we learn how to create panel stack, then we learn select as, widgets and so on. But in real time what it happens is you'll have all these particular concepts clubbed together in one single dashboard. So that if you want, we can do that as a project. I can give some example and you can just build up a mock dashboard for it so that you get used to all these particular controls on a single different dashboard. That's it. So these are the different things which we will be learning as part of the practical stuff on both say documents and then the dashboards. And yeah, I mean to start any one thing, right? So to start with sections, it takes a say for example half an hour, close to half an hour time. I just don't want to start anything. So just remember this particular all concepts which we'll be learning in coming 6 to 7 hours. But I want you to spend enough time from tomorrow to work on the documents. I don't want anything pending from your end. Whatever pending you have, just try to complete it so that we will start working with